sports takes have gotten lazy. Not just wrong sometimes, just lazy. And the worst part about it is how fast we jump to conclusions without actually talking about what happened on the field or the basketball court, depending on the sport we're talking about. One bad game turns into a career verdict. One loss turns into a legacy debate. And one season turns into a franchise obituary. And it's killing real sports conversations. So let's talk about it. Welcome back to another edition of The Adam Kennedy Show with your boy, AK The Ref. If you're into real sports conversations and not just hot takes just for clicks, you're in the right place. Because today, we're having one of those sports conversations. But as you know, we do sports and entertainment, but today is the sports conversation. So let's get into some of the laziest sports takes we hear right now and why the context still matters. Hey, we are ready to roll. So this is where I wanted to do this episode ever since last week, since the Broncos-Bills game and what happened in there. So let's get into it. Listen. We have these sports takes where we blame everything except what actually happened, right? And I'm going to start off with a perfect example of why I am talking about this today. Like I just said, we had the Bills versus the Denver Broncos last week in the playoffs. And immediately when that game was over, we're blaming coaching. We're blaming the refs. We're blaming this. We're blaming that. We're blaming the rest of the guys on the team except the one guy that has the ball in his hands every play. We're not blaming that person. We are not. The next day, the sports analyst on all the sports talk shows, we're not blaming him. We're going to give him a pass. We're not blaming everything. We're blaming everything else and everybody else except the person who has to carry that responsibility, who should be taking the blame, who people should be blaming, which is Josh Allen. Why, you ask? He had 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers. That matters. But people want to beat around the bush. They don't want to talk about it. They want to say it's coaching. It's the rest of his players. It's the defense. It's his skill position players. Listen, that fumble before halftime, that's on you, bro. But no, we don't want to talk about that, right? And when I say we need to put the blame and have this real conversation, which people refuse to have for some reason for Josh Allen, me putting the blame on him is not saying he's not a great player, right? He is. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Okay, I don't like the Bills. I'm not a big fan of Josh Allen. I'm a Chiefs fan, so I'm going to be biased towards the Chiefs, but I'm speaking facts right now, right? This isn't me saying the Bills are a failure. They've had multiple chances, and I'll get to that in a minute. But at some point, accountability has to exist in the conversation, and that seems never to happen. People have these discussions. Right? You can't talk about back hauls and ignore the 4 turnovers. You can't rewrite the game because you like the quarterback. And that's what happens. It's like people like Josh Allen, they feel bad for him. That's right. He got the MVP. Was it last year? They gave him that out of charity case. And that was talked about. Like, Saquon Barkley should have won the MVP last year. He was the best player in the league last year. But they gave it to Josh. They gave it to Josh Allen last year, right? They gave it to him out of a charity case, and people were talking about it, right? But like I said, they want to rewrite and do everything else, but put the blame on what needs to be blamed. You're the franchise quarterback. You make all the money. It's gonna fall on your shoulders regardless. You and the head coach. Head coach got canned. You still there. You have 4 turnovers, right? And nobody wants to talk about that. This year matters even more. Because this year, you had no Mahomes in the playoffs. You had no Lamar. You had no Burrow. You had no elite quarterbacks. Bro, you had Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, CJ Stroud, Drake May. Am I forgetting somebody? Oh, and a 40-year-old something Aaron Rodgers. Your path was there. This was the year, wasn't it? Everybody talked about it. You didn't see those other 3 quarterbacks, and this was your path? Even as a 7th seed, this was your path. You had the ball. You had opportunities. You had your chances. You had more than one. Saying this out loud is not hate. No, it's honesty. It's the truth that nobody talks about. Why? Because they want to move the goalpost. They want to, for some reason, for Josh Allen, they move the fucking goalpost. And I don't understand why. And this is where the lazy takes really start to show themselves. Because instead of having a real honest conversation, we just jump to extremes. Which brings me to the next habit in these debates, right? We turn one result into a permanent identity. And this happens all the time. And I'm not talking about Josh Allen. We'll get back to that in a minute. I'm talking about, let's say a player plays for a few seasons and then they finally reach the playoffs and they lose that first playoff game. And all of a sudden the narrative is that they're not great anymore. Or one loss becomes a story. Or one game becomes the label. I swear in sports we have no patience when it comes to this. They don't allow the players to grow. You got to understand that most players lose before they win. I mean, and there's every exception to the rule. But you got to understand, like, we just don't allow, we see one game, they don't make it to the playoffs, and we see this, and they're not great. But then on the other hand, they do the exact same thing with players. Like Justin Herbert is a prime example. They talk, he's got talent, he's got the arm talent, and then he gets the playoffs and shits the bed. But they still want to put him on a pedestal every fucking year. Instead of just being like, he hasn't done anything. Why are we saying he's the quarterback? He's to watch this. You haven't done anything. When have you done anything in the playoffs? But after this season's over, I guarantee you Justin Herbert will be right there, quarterback to watch when he hasn't done anything, right? It just makes no sense to me. And like, back to my point of like, quarterback finally gets the playoffs and they lose one game, and it's like, nah, you're no good. No, we're going to write you off. Doesn't playoff success usually come after failure, not before it? Usually there's failure, then success, right? There's failure, then success. Mahomes reached the AFC Championship game his first year starting, second year in the league. He lost. Then he went to another AFC Championship game, went to the Super Bowl, won that. Went to another Super Bowl, got their asses kicked. They failed. They got written off. But what'd they do? Came back to the AFC Championship game again, lost, retooled, trades Tyreek Hill, went back after that to 3 straight Super Bowls and won 2 of them. So it's like, there was failure in there. They lost against the Patriots that first year Mahomes started. They went to Super Bowl, went to Super Bowl again, lost it, got their asses kicked. Went to the AFC Championship game the following year, lost that, completely just melted down, lost that. So I'm saying, you gotta understand, there's gonna be failures. Why do we just write people off? But then there's people that have failures, but they don't get written off. And it's just like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I think it's come to this thing of, we have debate culture that doesn't wait for context. They want verdicts immediately. They want to have the hot take. They want to be doing this and doing that instead of just having an honest conversation, right? And this is where the debate shows have completely changed how fans talk about sports in like the last 10 years. I mean, shit. I remember, some time ago when First Take was called Cold Pizza and Skip Bayless was on it with Woody Page, I think that was his name, back in the day. And then it turned to the First Take, and then it just spiraled out of control, right? You had First Take, and then eventually Skip left ESPN. This First Take was still there. And you had Stephen A. Smith on there, and then Skip left First Take, went to Fox Sports 1, did Undisputed with Shannon Sharp. I mean, you have all these debate shows, right? And then they're just built on extremes. They're not built, they're just built on to debate and who has the most extreme take, right? You're either elite or you're washed. There's like no in between. There's literally no in between. But like, no, Skip Bayless to the day he dies, Mahomes is not great at all. It was boy has 3 Super Bowls and he was still giving no Mahomes credit. See, that's just a dumb, lazy take. That's just because you don't like Mahomes and you need to take your personal opinion out of it. I'm not gonna sit here and say Josh Allen's not great. I don't like Josh Allen. I'm not a fan. But to say he's not good and one of the best in the league is just asinine. Just like Lamar is a good quarterback. Now when we get to the playoffs, that's a different story. Just like, I didn't like Tom Brady when he was with the Patriots, but doesn't mean he was a great. That doesn't not make him a great quarterback just because you don't like somebody. So you need to take your feelings out of it and tell it like it is and what you see on the field, right? And it's like I said, it's elite or you're washed. You're clutch or you're a choker. You're the guy, you're not the guy. And like I said, there's no middle ground. There's no time. There's no timeline. There's no patience. There's no time for growth. There's no time. We just wait and see what this guy's gonna do. Like Justin Herbert should be talked about, shouldn't be always at the top of the list. Like, this guy's to watch out. He hasn't proved it yet. We need to talk about how he hasn't proved it yet. Until he does, he's had time though. He's had time. He's been in the league a hot minute now, and he's had time. But there's no patience with some other guys, and there's no middle ground, which is frustrating sometimes when you hear these takes and be like, do you even know what the fuck you're talking about? Right? And then the fans, we repeat those takes without asking if they actually make sense. Does this make sense? No, we just hear them be like, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Why? Because it's easy. Instead of actually just being thoughtful and be like, you know what? Hold on, let me take a step back, right? Because a lot of these times, like you see these analysts on these national sports talk shows, and they talk and they talk and they talk without any context. Because like when they talk about the Chiefs, yeah, the Chiefs have Mahomes and have Andy Reid and have all this, but they don't watch every game. It's bullshit. Now the games they be on prime time, but they're not watching the 3 o'clock game or the noon game. They have no God. They don't really. I don't think they really watch the game. I think they just see the box score and look at some highlights and be like, "This is how it happened." Blah blah blah. Like they may watch a few games here and there, but we as fans, we watch every fucking game. We know what the fuck's going on. I listen to sports talk radio locally. We listen to press conferences. We see what's going on. We know what actually needs to be done. We saw this season. Everybody knows what needs to change, what needs to happen in the off season, right? And that brings me to my next point. What's going to happen is they're going to take this season that the Chiefs had, this one bad season out of the last fucking 8 since Mahomes has been a starter, and they're going to take that and they're going to be like, the Chiefs are dynasty's dead, they're done, blah, blah, lock them up, throw away the key, send Andy Reid home, Mahomes is washed, Travis Kelce's washed, everybody's washed. And you've already heard it. You've heard it from other people. You're like, yeah, Denver's the team to beat now in the AFC West. And I'm like, hold the fuck on, bro. The Chiefs are finished? That's news to me. The window's closed. This is where this bothers me. And I'll get to this in a minute, right? Until teams do it multiple years where the Chiefs don't win the AFC West, I'm not going to write them off as as a non-dominant team. It's been 1 year, bro. One bad season, and we're just going to write them off. No, I need to see teams do it. Okay, the Broncos did it this year. They won the AFC West. Can they do it again next year? Can another team do it again win it next year besides the Chiefs? Because what if the Chiefs just come back and win it next year? Don't you have to do something multiple years in a row, multiple seasons in a row before you become the dominant team? Like the fucking Chiefs have done in the Andy Reid era since Mahomes has been a starter? Have we not proven it year in and year out? I'm not saying the teams aren't good that they play against in the AFC West, the Chargers and the Broncos. I'm not putting the Raiders in any conversation, because until they get their organization, their front office situations, wherever, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But I'm just saying, like, Chiefs have one bad season. We're gonna write them off next year. The Broncos are the team to beat. Hold your fucking horses. They only did that one time in the last 9-10 years, something like that. And we're just going to write off the Chiefs? That makes no sense to me. Even if they do it again next year, we don't know when Mahomes is coming back next year. Do it again next year, and then do it the following year again when Mahomes is healthy. And then our team is going full force because now he's had time to heal and whatnot. But what if the Chiefs come back and win the AFC West next year? Even if Mahomes doesn't even start week 1, he comes back like sometime in October and they still win the AFC West. The Chiefs are still the team to beat. They are still the team to beat. Until it happens multiple seasons in a row. If it happens multiple seasons in a row, then I'll be like, yeah, Chiefs ain't the dominant team no more. Is the Broncos, or it's the Chargers if they do it. But if different teams do it and it's not the Chiefs, then we can have that conversation. That the Chiefs are not the dominant team anymore in the AFC West, right? And to me, shit like that, one down season, you say the dynasty's over. That's not analysis. That's fatigue. You're just tired of talking about the Chiefs. You just want somebody new. And it literally is. It's just like when the Patriots were winning and Tom Brady. They just want somebody else to win. They didn't want to speak facts. They didn't want to speak facts. I knew it, but I was always going to root for my team. I always believed in my team, even back then. Because I always believed in my fucking team. Right? They don't want to. They're tired of the same team winning. Right? It's fatigue. Right? And they've last whatever fucking years, they've seen the Chiefs been dominance, and when they don't have that dominance and they go 6-11, to them it feels like the world's falling down. They're like, oh, they're no more. Like the Chiefs haven't earned that. Like Mahomes hasn't earned that. Like Andy Reid hasn't earned that. Like this coaching staff, like this organization hasn't earned the right to have one bad season. They went to the last 3 Super Bowls and won 2 of them. But no, we don't want to have that honest take. Nah, the fuck we don't. I'm a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan, but they've earned that fucking right. And you fucking know it. Everybody out there that don't like the Chiefs, all the fucking national analysts out there on ESPN, on Fox Sports 1, wherever the fuck's National Sports Talk, they know this is the honest truth. The Chiefs have earned that right. They've earned that patience. They've earned how they're allowed to have one back. They went to the last 3 fucking Super Bowls, bro. Mahomes and Kelsey and Jones have played an extra season already compared to everybody else in the fucking league the last 8 years. So they've earned that, but nobody wants to give them that. Because one bad year, they have one bad season, and they just want to be written off completely from the next season. They've earned that. One bad year doesn't erase years of excellence. They went to the last 3 Super Bowls. They won 2 of them. What are we talking about here? It's just starting to make me mad, bro. It's just starting to make me mad. It's just fucking stupid. Go. Stop bargaining. It's just stupid, right? And this brings me back to standards. Standards matter and comparisons matter too. And I think this is where people lose the plot of that, right? And I'll bring this back to Josh Allen. He's great. He's not better than Mahomes. I don't think so. I don't think he's better than Mahomes. And that's not a disrespect. That's not a shot at Josh Allen. That's just fucking reality. It's just fucking reality. Mahomes has been to more conference championship games, more Super Bowls, and won more titles. Josh Allen has been what? 2 conference championship games? 2? 2. I know they went to the one year in COVID. The COVID year. We beat them because that's the year we went and played Tampa Bay and we got our asses kicked. We had an AFC Conference Championship game here last season where he had the ball and he had a chance to win. He didn't. He's been to 2. Mahomes has been to what? 7 straight? Mahomes has been to 5 Super Bowls. 5 and won 3 of them. Allen hasn't gotten over the hump. That doesn't mean he never will. It just means the comparison has to stop. And I even posted it on my Facebook. When they lost that game, I was like, you can no longer have this comparison. The shit should have stopped years. It should have stopped last year. After Allen didn't get to the Super Bowl and had the ball in his hand with 4 minutes and they didn't get it done. That's when this comparison should have stopped. Motherfucker should have stopped multiple years ago. And when they went into the last 2 Super Bowls before last year, when we beat Philly and beat San Francisco. Why are we still having this comparison? Why? Because people are just sick of fucking the Chiefs and Mahomes, and that's why they do it. It just is. And like I said, the context matters. One playoff loss doesn't define a player. But if you've had multiple championships, eventually that becomes, multiple chances. See, if you've had multiple chances, that eventually has to become part of the conversation. Both things can be true. You can't just say one playoff loss is not going to define them. But you've had multiple chances, right? And this is the part that people hate. Nuance is boring, but it's necessary. Sports is not a clean narrative. No. It's fucking messy. It's layered. It's full of timing, injuries, matchups, and moments. And lazy takes just removes all of that because it's just easier, right? They flatten everything into hot takes because hot takes travel faster than the fucking truth. And I'm not saying everybody on national media is like that, but a lot of it is. That's because it's just entertainment at that point. It's just entertainment, and and it's nothing. That's why I don't even watch them no more. Like when the Chiefs got on this run, Mahomes started starting, and now we're being talked about on First Take and Undisputed. I'm sitting there having a ball watching it. I'm like, yep, I only watch it during the season because during the off season, I don't give a fuck. But then it's like, I remember when Shannon and Skip first started this show, and Skip would always talk about it on First Take. Always had to talk about the Dallas Cowboys because that was his favorite team. He loves the Dallas Cowboys. I'm like, Dallas Cowboys ain't done shit since fucking what? Since the 90s? Why do we have to? They're America's team. No, the fuck you're not. You got to win to be America's team. And if you really want to get technical with it, the Chiefs are the real America's team before they even started winning, right? Because the Chiefs were in Dallas as the Dallas Texans, and then they moved to Kansas City, and then the Cowboys came and became the Dallas Cowboys. Somehow they got the name America's team. I'm sorry, you have to win to be America's team. They haven't won since the 90s. I don't think anybody calls them America's team. But you watch the show and it's like every fucking day there was a Dallas Cowboys take. I'm like, the Chiefs are winning, and we're still having these Dallas Cowboys takes. Why? They don't matter. They really don't. Is it Jerry Jones probably pumping money, be like, hey, talk about my team? Probably, but I'm sorry. We don't want to talk about your team. Your team's not winning. Talk about the teams that actually matter, that actually deserve the time to be talked about on a national level, right? And if you love fucking sports, you owe conversations more than just hot fucking takes. Put some fucking substance in it. I can have some substance about the Chiefs. I already know who was wrong. They tried to roll it back this year with what they did last year, and it didn't fucking work. We all saw what happened in that Eagles Super Bowl. They got the ass kicked, and they rolled it back with the same team and made no changes. It didn't work. It didn't work. They should have made changes after they beat San Francisco. They shouldn't be like, we need to do this. They thought they could just roll it back and be like, let me just do this a little bit. We'll have Rice coming back and this, and we'll be fine, And I'm like, no, that's not the way it fucking works. And I saw that. I saw that. The wide receivers have been great for the last 3 seasons. Even the ones that did win the Super Bowl. The Chiefs weren't supposed to win the Super Bowl against San Francisco that year. That was the year that it was supposed to be the Ravens or the Bills. And I was like, and that's why, to me, that year, the Chiefs winning against San Francisco the second time, to me, is the most impressive of their Super Bowl victories. My favorite emotional one is the first one they got against San Francisco, because I never thought in my lifetime I'd see the Chiefs win a fucking Super Bowl. I just never did. I just never thought that. And then they got Mahomes. I was like, they got Andy Reid, and I was like, oh, we may be able to go deep in the playoffs. We had Alex Smith. But then we got Mahomes. We actually took a quarterback. We actually took a chance. And then he had that first year start. And I was like, oh, shit, we might go to the Super Bowl. We did. And then we went the next year and won it. And I was like, that's my favorite. That's the most emotional. That's the one that's emotional. And probably one of my favorites. But that's my most emotional and favorite one is that Super Bowl. My most satisfying Super Bowl victory, playoff run, is that year home against Miami. In negative 20 degrees. Cold ass game. Yeah, I went to that fucking game. Had to work it because I have a part-time job with the Chiefs. Had to work that game. It's fucking cold. And that's the one I got the ring for. So that's the most satisfying, and it's right there, number 2. That's the number 2 most satisfying. That playoff run is the most satisfying to me because we had to do that game. Then we had to go on the road to Buffalo. We won in Buffalo. And then we had to go on the road to fucking Baltimore, and we won. Our team wasn't the best that year. We weren't the best team that year. It was probably the Ravens were the best team, and then the Bills, and then the Chiefs in the AFC. And then we went to the Super Bowl, and we won in overtime. That's the most satisfying. That's the most fucking satisfying one, right? But I know this year, it didn't go the way we wanted. 6-11. That's bullshit. I already know why. I already know what they need to fix. They know what they need to do in the offseason. And this is a matter of doing it. And yes, next season could be iffy. But with Mahomes, he's pushing for week 1. And I wouldn't put it past him. The way his mind is and the way he take care of his body and the way he's going to go push through rehab and go 1,000%, I wouldn't be shocked if he was back week 1. That wouldn't shock me, just the way he's built different. But even if he comes back sometime in October and we're still right there, we get a good fucking backup veteran quarterback that can go win a couple games here and there. And we maybe stay in that 500 range, and then Mahomes comes back, gets his feet under him, and he starts playing. I could easily see that she's just being back next year in the playoffs. Now, what happens in the playoffs is a different story. But the following year after that, after Mahomes has got his feet back, he's getting in the groove. I expect that year to take off too. But next year I still feel good about next year. I want to see how the offseason plays out. And then I can have that conversation. See how the offseason plays out. See who we get in free agency. See what happens in the draft. And see where our team is. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. But my last thoughts on the lazy takes. You don't have to defend everyone you like. You don't have to bury everyone who loses. You just got to be honest. Just have an honest conversation. Just have an honest conversation. It really is. They just want to have hot takes, and whoever screams the loudest is always wins the argument. Like, just you scream the loudest don't mean shit. I'm like, your take is stupid. You look dumb. You look like you don't know anything. And if you want better conversations, stop repeating lazy ones. I don't give a fuck that you can scream the loudest. That just makes you look like you're ignorant and you don't know anything. And you're not taking the time to do the research and look at all the facts. And that's where I'm at on it. It really is. These lazy takes just got to stop. You think people would stop watching if you got rid of all the hot takes and actually had honest conversation? But like, that's a good conversation. That's a good conversation. But no, we don't want to. Sometimes we want to move the goalposts. We don't want to give players the recognition they deserve. We don't want to do this. We want to do that. We want to have the hot take. We want to blah, blah, blah. It's just instead of having the good, honest takes, the good analysis. And there's people out there that do that. I'm not saying there isn't. But a lot of times, whoever screams the loudest, they automatically win. And it's just stupid. Nobody wants to come with facts, real analysis, real information. They just want to come with a hot take and just be like, I'm the loudest, here it is. I'm right, yeah. So yeah. And then they just talk over each other and nobody gets a fucking word in. It's entertaining. But you can have honest, entertaining conversations. And if somebody's making good points on both sides, be like, oh, I don't know who to agree with. You could have a take and you could be right too. But there's supposed to be somebody on the other side of the table that can be like, I don't agree with that take, and also have facts to back up their opinion. You both can kind of be right in the same way. It's just whatever side of the coin you want to be on when you listen to it. So, I mean, that's all I got for today. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel here. I told you I'm going to be consistent with this fucking shit, bro. And we fucking here. So, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday because there's no school tomorrow, so I don't have to go teach tomorrow. I just know, yeah, I'm just excited. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the day. I'm probably going to go upstairs in a little bit and play some Fortnite with my daughter because we've been playing duos and trying to get number one. But I'm not good at Fortnite. I don't like the fucking game. I hate the building aspect of it. It's like motherfuckers move fast. I don't play all the time. But we want to get victory royale. We want to get first place. And yes, we're fucking playing duos and we're playing reload. I don't give a fuck. I don't play fucking Fortnite every day. We're playing reload. We're gonna get a first place on reload. I don't give a fuck about battle royale. You get shot, you're done, killed. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care. I'll play whatever the fuck I want. I'm not trying to be some fucking streamer or be some gamer that's trying to make it big playing Fortnite. I'm playing for my own enjoyment and I want to get first place. Is something wrong with that? I mean, listen, why the fuck did they have it on there then? Why is the reload on there? I know what you fucking look at him. He fucking plays reload. Yeah. Fucking point. I don't give a fuck. I'm just enjoying it and having fun. But I don't know. When I got on time for next week, I don't fucking know. But just know it's gonna be something entertaining. Is it gonna be entertaining? Fuck, I don't fucking know. Shit, you just have to tune in next week. You just got to tune in next time, and see what we talk about. Until then, I'll catch you. I'm out. Peace. You know we out this bitch. We out this. Let me check my text messages. We got this bitch. Let's do it. Deuces.